it, but there are some issues that have arisen that I want to present here. Some of them have been touched upon. One is the commercialization of the Dharma. And this is a very painful thing to see. And I'm very grateful that I came to Hinduism before I had to spend thousands of dollars to get a mantra, or thousands of dollars to get my pranayam. You know, it's reached the point now where it's painful to see the commercialization, and it's not just in our Hindu Dharma, it's also with Buddhism and the mindfulness movement. How for $7,500 and you take a week of training, and then you can go out and be a mindfulness teacher in the corporations, and you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we have to talk about this. This has to be, and I've organized conferences in the US about the future of Dharma in America. Is this just going to be, are we going to let it just become another industry? Or are we going to look for a much deeper practice? At least if you're talking about yoga and mindfulness, talk about Dharma. At least bring the concept of Dharma into it. So that's one issue. The second issue I want to bring up is the sad thing that almost all of the spiritual teachers who come from India to the US disassociate themselves from Hinduism. They say they're not Hindu, and this is not Hinduism. This is painful to see. And I'm very fond of some of these teachers, and I say this with all due respect, but I no longer think it's necessary. You would never hear His Holiness the Dalai Lama say, I am not Buddhist, and what I'm teaching is not Buddhism. You would never hear the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh say that. None of the Buddhist leaders I know would say, I am not Buddhist, and the teachings I teach are not Buddhist. So why, in our Hindu Dharma, did the teachers come and say, I am not Hindu? I've heard it again and again. And I've heard the reasons. Well, we can attract larger audiences. Okay, it's important to get people to meditate. We have to, humanity is at such a crisis that we have to help people evolve, awaken. So yes, it's important to reach large audiences, but you don't have to disown Hinduism in order to do that. So I want to bring this up. It's a bit of a sticky subject because some of these teachers are quite big right now, and they've become businesses in a way. But I am so glad that I remember a time when Dharma was not a business.